You woke up as Konjo Kase, a loser so hopeless that he only needs to see a woman to start drooling. The kind of guy who has never touched a girl's hand unless it was by accident, and even then he gets excited like it was a forbidden fan. And although he seems destined to die alone, hugging his controller as if it were his imaginary girlfriend, everything changes when she appears. A beautiful, direct girl who messages him as if she had known him forever and tells him, "I need your help in real life." Kon can barely read the message without turning red. It's the first time a woman has ever needed him for something that wasn't asking him to move from a bus seat. What he doesn't know is that this message is the beginning of a story where women desire him, and Konjo is not ready for that kind of suffering. Konjo was just about to make history. His most powerful attack was fully charged, his fingers firm, his eyes locked on the screen, and his voice about to shout the definitive name of the ability when suddenly his enemy interrupts him with a perfect strike that sends him straight to failure. The screen darkened without mercy. A massive game over fills the display, another defeat added to the collection. Konjo collapses into his gaming chair with a deep sigh. Losing in games was routine. What truly hurt was losing in real life as well, especially when it came to anything involving women. He was about to close everything when a notification appeared on the screen. A girl wanted to talk to him. A real girl with trembling hands. He activates voice chat and hears a sweet voice introducing herself as Flora. Without small talk, without flirting, she tells him she needs his help in real life. Konjo's heart races. In a fraction of a second, his mind runs wild. Dates, touches, maybe his long-awaited farewell to virginity. He tells her he'll go wherever she is. Flora lets out a small laugh and replies not to worry, that they would meet very soon. And they do meet, just not the way he imagined. At that very moment, in another world, a carriage is racing through the desert at full speed while tanks chase it, lifting massive clouds of sand. A wounded knight defends a small princess with everything he has left. When the enemy is about to deliver the final blow, the sky intervenes. Konjo literally falls from the air, still sitting on his chair, crushing the pursuer like a virgin meteor loaded with bad luck. When he opens his eyes, the first thing he sees are swords pointing at him, confused soldiers, and a girl with a firm gaze standing in front of him. They tell him he's on the outskirts of Sao. He thinks he's dreaming until the princess punches him to prove it is painfully real. Just like that, without warning, Konjo is trapped in a fantasy world full of swords, princesses, and danger. Exactly the kind of world where a guy like him has every chance of dying a virgin. During the journey, he learns that the princess, named Escarlata, must marry a noble to prevent a war. Konjo almost chokes when he realizes she is still just a child. But fate doesn't take long to test them. Seduced appears, an elegant, arrogant, dangerously strong knight. He defeats the princess's protector with ease and announces he will kill her for the greater good. Trembling like jelly, but with his heart on fire, Konjo does the only thing he can think of. He delivers a devastating kick straight to the knight's pride. Eric collapses to the ground screaming, defeated by the secret ability of a desperate protagonist. From that day on, he swears revenge. Even more so when the hospital tells him he lost one of his treasures because of that legendary kick. Meanwhile, a small, adorable creature joins the group. Konjo rejects it due to childhood trauma with kittens that never loved him. Well, no one ever loved him. Mariandale, a strong and mysterious warrior, adopts it without hesitation. The group goes through all kinds of absurd situations. Clumsy assassins, dangerous inns, awkward beaches, hot springs, ridiculous secrets. Mariandale even reveals a tragic past, only for it to later be revealed that she simply chose to live however she wanted. Konjo suffers a mental breakdown worthy of a hospital. Eric, meanwhile, tries to recover his pride. He gets into family conflicts, betrayals, duels, wedding promises, conspiracies, and even a strange medicine that restores his strength. Hardening thing I prefer not to describe in detail. You can imagine how his obsession with defeating Konjo grows to the point where it becomes personal, psychological, and anatomical. You know what I mean. The world begins to burn in war between empires. Konjo is captured captured, he escapes. He fakes his death alongside the princess using an elaborate mirror trick and manages to deceive Eric, who even cries at the funeral, believing he had finally been freed from him. But no, Konjo is still alive, uncomfortably alive. Then Miranda appears, the most intense waifu on the continent. She falls in love with Konjo the exact moment he runs desperately to the bathroom. She chases him, hits him, challenges him, forces him to confess a love he doesn't feel, then coldly rejects him just to observe him from afar like a tragic heroine. Konjo understands nothing, but he has already accepted that his romantic life is a cosmic joke. The group reaches the capital. The princess claims her crown, and Konjo desperately begins searching for a way back to his world. That's when he learns about Oliveria, a floating city capable of crossing dimension. To reach it, they must go to the kingdom of Gelb, where Escarlata must marry. There, they endure 18 days of absurdly long rituals, millions of domino tile, humiliating karaoke sets, pet threats, ridiculous espionage, and multiple failed sabotage attempts by Eric. Finally, the wedding day arrives. Konjo panics at the thought of the wedding night, only to discover the groom is an eccentric young man obsessed with plush toys and puppets. The night ends in disaster when the princess knocks him out. The castle erupts into chaos. The group flees, chased by soldiers. Along the way, they unknowingly use Eric as a distraction. At that point, Flora appears again, revealing herself as a divine waifu in charge of maintaining balance between worlds. She explains that an ancient civilization called Ligon once ruled using soul energy, but now a traitor archbishop plans to destroy everything. Flora grants new powers to Konjo and his group to stop the war. During the conflict, brothers face each other. Doubts rise everywhere. Konjo is even poisoned by a monstrous spider. To save him, they perform a ritual as strange as it is effective. They boil him in a pot to purge the venom. Surprisingly, he survives even stronger. Ready for the final battle, the Archbishop releases his ultimate weapon. For eso, a gigantic creature, impossible to damage, no attack works. When everything seems lost, Konjo does the only thing he truly knows how to do well: talk. He convinces the creature to think for itself, to stop letting others decide its fate. Against all odds, it reflects, it apologizes, and it betrays the Archbishop. The Archbishop is captured. The kings sign peace. The war comes to an end. Only one matter remains: Konjo versus Eric. During their final battle, Mariandale reveals the true reason behind Eric's obsession. Konjo's kick left him sterile. Mariandale offers compensation. Flora appears and performs a bizarre magical transplant that restores his private part. Eric is satisfied, traumatized, but finally at peace. Konjo is even more traumatized, but the world is safe. Konjo makes his final wish to return home. Flora accepts, promising that they will meet again one day. The group bids farewell with tears, awkward hugs, and impossible promise. Konjo wakes up in his bedroom in front of his computer, believing everything was just a long, absurd dream, until he touches his cheek and feels a bump where there was nothing before. He smiles, understanding that it was all real.